Hi parents and students, I'm trying something new this year which is called Screencast-O-Matic. I'll be using this tool to give you video tutorials of homework assignments that we start in class, and you might need a little extra help or reminder with at home. So for the first one, we're going to do identifying controls and variables, and I'm going to do the same thing we did in class, just to remind you of how it's done. So for experiment 1, Smithers thinks that a special juice will increase the productivity of workers. He creates 2 groups of 50 workers each and assigns each group the same task. So in this case, they're supposed to staple a set of papers. Group A is given special juice to drink while they work. Group B is not given the special juice. And after an hour, Smithers counts how many stacks of paper each group has made. Group A made 1,587 stacks. Group B made 2,113 stacks. So for the control group, just to remind you, a control group is kind of like the norm. It's our baseline, and it's what you're starting out with before you change anything. So it's the starting group, and no changes have been made. So if Smithers thinks that a special juice will increase the productivity of his workers, and he has 2 groups. One of those 2 groups is going to be a control group. Group A is not given the special juice to drink while they work. Group A is given the special drink. Group B is not given the special juice. So before he even started, the workers didn't have any special juice. They had no changes made. So Group B is going to be our control group. They were not given the special juice. The one we're experimenting with, he's experimenting by giving them juice, so Group A was given the juice. Now we're looking at our independent and manipulated variable. Our independent variable is the I do or I change variable. So how are we changing the situation? The answer would be we're giving them juice. Versus not giving them juice. So the variable that we're changing is whether or not they have juice. The dependent variable is the responding variable. So this is what we measure because it responds to the independent variable. So in this situation, we are measuring, he's counting how many stacks of papers each group has made. So the number of stacks of papers. Our constants are going to be the things we keep the same, because we don't want our experiment to be unreliable, and we want to know for a fact that the juice is what's changing the situation and nothing else. So some of the constants might be how many workers are in each group. Another constant that's not actually on here, but might be something that we want to keep the same, is how trained the workers are. Do the workers have the same abilities? So if we have ones that have been working for a very long time versus ones that haven't, that's kind of how trained they are, but maybe the experience level. A constant might be something as small as the lighting in the room or how hungry the workers are. So we want to make sure that they are in the exact same situation so that we know our data is reliable. So this is an example of how you would complete one of these assignments. This is just reminders down here. You don't have to do this on every page. So for page experiment 2, this is where your homework starts. You're going to read this experiment, and you're going to look at the results and then come up with your control group, your experimental group, your I do variable, your dependent variable, and your constants. Where this changes is going to be experiment 5. So experiment 5, sorry, I'm out of focus here. Lisa's working on a science project. Her task is to answer a question and it says describe how Lisa could conduct her experiment. So on this one, you're given much less information than the past experiments, and you are coming up with your own. So just a reminder, there is no right or wrong answer here, but you do need to have a control group. So you're probably going to want to split into at least 2 groups and an experimental group. What are you changing? What is she changing? What's going to change because of that? What do you want to keep constant? And describe your experiment. You do not need to give step-by-step instructions here, but you do need to give enough of a description that we can tell exactly what you're doing. Descriptions of experiments that you could look at are right up here. All of these other experiments are short descriptions. So hopefully that gives you enough to get started on. If you have any questions, please remember that you can email me at maria.lowen@mcpherson.com. You can use your Chromebooks for that and let me know. Hopefully you can figure it out from there.